back to bring some grumpiness to your internet, and welcome back to Redneck Radio, the live stream where today you get an extra healthy side helping of fresh baked pan sweet cornbread with real butter melted on top. Oh, real butter. I am officially hungry now. And with me today, as you can see, is Barry the Gull.
Mine.
Just doing some fish, people. Every once in a while, he'll be all right.
Yeah, absolutely. Throw me a chihuahua, and I'm ready to go.
How you doing, buddy?
I'm not doing too badly, mate. I'm not doing too badly. Still a little bit ill, you know.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I can't seem to shake it. I might have AIDS or something. I don't know. I've been like it for like 6 days now.
Yeah,
really weird.
I think you have all the AIDS. Yeah.
Yeah. I think I've got the mega super ultra over AIDS, you know.
Yeah, you got the Down syndrome AIDS.
That's the worst type. Well, it's not the worst type. I mean, African AIDS is the worst type, but you know, I've got that Icelandic attempt to try to kill off my people, bioweapon disease.
Yeah.
But yeah, I keep waking up like bunged up with man flu and that, and I keep getting like extremely stiff muscles and shit, and just like being really dizzy and all that kind of stuff, you know.
Well, you sound like my everyday. You sound like you're just an old person.
Well, I did say that I'm pretty much an old person at this point, like. But yeah, I've just been drugging myself up with paracetamol, things like that, and it staves it off for a period of time. Then I have to go heat blast myself in the shower, and then yeah, I feel a bit better after that kind of thing. I need to have my dinner and my shower after the stream. I'll do it then. But yeah, I'm okay, mate. Thank you for asking. How are you?
I'm doing just fine. Real quick, Iceman Northland, hello, Bloodwing. I'm a new subscriber. Well, welcome, absolutely welcome. I love all my subscribers, even the lurkers. We love the lurkers.
Well, lurkers are very helpful. So
yeah, absolutely. But no, I'm doing just fine. As usual on Saturday, I've been editing the next episode of Redneck Trek all day since I woke up at about 7 o'clock this morning.
Mm-hmm.
Almost done though. I got about 5 minutes of the video to edit, and then I got to go back and add the music because I find that's better and easier for me if I edit the video out with all my voiceover and then go back and add the music. I get a better idea of what will fit there better, you know.
Yeah, well, yeah, it makes sense to do that. Music is always the last thing that I do in videos, so
yeah. So just got that little bit to do, and it'll be ready.
Yeah, good. You think the old man would have made it so that he gets these done well before the weekend, but
I've told you I've been a master procrastinator my entire life. My philosophy, well, that too. But my philosophy is, why do today what you can put off till tomorrow? Or better yet, why do today what you can get somebody else to do for you tomorrow?
Well, I mean, I kind of, that's a great way to think about things. Why do it yourself when you can have someone else do it for you? You know, that's capitalism, baby.
Yeah, actually, thanks to your all's generosity, and by the way, the link to the GoFundMe is in the description because some of you said that you wanted to make use of it today. I will be closing it Monday, so if you're, because the emergency is over, but I do have some medical bills and need a refrigerator and things like that, and if you want to help me with that, great, but you guys have already helped me through the emergency.
Which you guys are amazing for, by the way. Amazing.
Exactly. And thank you, Willie Ham, for the very generous donation over on Streamlabs. Rednecks do it best. Lunch on me. Absolutely. I'll take it. And I will confess, I took a little bit of the money y'all gave me and I treated myself. I bought a pack of Marlboro Reds.
You bought some tailor-mades.
I did. I did, and I still love them. I mean, I smoked them for years, and I love them, but I don't love them over $7 worth.
Yeah, I mean, cigarettes are so goddamn expensive.
Oh,
It's ridiculous. Like,
it is. It's
it's,
bad. I went in last. I had to take my wife to work last night because she loaned her car to my youngest daughter
mm-hmm.
last night, so I took her to work. Hey, Sean DW, Mr. Monopoly of Gulf City. No, I wasn't hacked. I guess I'm not important enough.
No, Vanilla Bear account was hacked.
Oh, that's why she made a new account.
Yeah,
Well,
if you've received or receive a DM from Soulless Ginger 22, that was her old handle, the main handle. Obviously, she has it as a, because you know how on Twitter you have your at handle and you have your name, which you can change at any time. Yeah, if you get a message from Vanilla Bear, like a link, don't click it. All right, it's a phishing attempt, so don't do it.
yeah, I did follow that account back, the new one. So, yeah, vanilla. I figured there was some reason. I just didn't know what it was. The Diesel Dave says, leave it up a while longer. The holidays are messing with his check. Well, there's always my Streamlabs, dude. If you can give it to that, that's always up.
Yeah, Streamlabs is always better than GoFundMe, guys. Streamlabs will
Yeah.
take a much smaller percentage. Probably Bloodwing. Do you have it set so that you support Streamlabs, or or is it just a PayPal?
It just goes straight to PayPal.
No, have you? Okay, that's not what I meant, mate.
Okay, well, explain yourself.
Well, I will, sir. I will. On Streamlabs in your settings, you can have it so that you quote unquote support Streamlabs by giving them a very, very small percentage. You can turn that off. And of course, then there is PayPal, which, as you know, will take a percentage of what you withdraw.
Yeah. Well,
so,
if you do instant withdrawal, yeah, at least here in America, if you do instant withdrawal, they charge your fee. But if you just do the regular withdrawal, like within one regular business day, then they don't take anything.
Okay.
But yeah, I can't get my Streamlabs to work. Well, I'll try to leave it up. I'm just starting to feel a little funny about it because the emergency is over, and I didn't like asking for money anyway. So it's bugging me on that level a little bit. But anyway, yeah, I treated myself. I stopped on the way home after I dropped my wife off at work, and stopped at the gas station and went in. And I'm at the gas station. I don't know what it's like there, but at the gas stations here, if they're busy and if there's more than one line open, a lot of times a single line will form a ways back, so that way you can go to whichever line gets clear. And I walked in, and there's just a guy standing right where you would stand to do that, like he was waiting for the lines to get clear. And then another person come in and stood behind me, and another person stood behind me, and we had a line going, and the line got clear, and the guy didn't move. He's just on his phone. And said, the person behind me said, sir, the line's clear. Are you waiting in line? He goes, oh, no, I was just waiting on my hot dog to get done over here. Sorry.
Silly sausage.
Anyway, I went up and asked him for a pack of Marlboro Reds, and she said it was like $7 and some cents. And I'm like, this is why I don't buy them all the time anymore.
They're still a lot cheaper than the UK, mate. What's that? Probably a £6 something, yeah? In the UK, cigarettes are £8 and up.
See, I don't spend, that's about what I spend to buy a small bag of tobacco and enough tubes to make a carton's worth of cigarettes.
Yeah, I think some cigarette brands are roughly the same price as a 25-gram pouch of most tobaccos.
Yeah. Well, I usually get the great big giant size bag,
Or
but
50
lately,
gram.
I've been getting a smaller bag that only makes about a carton's worth of cigarettes.
Yeah.
And thinking that if I buy the smaller bag, then it'll be easier to say, okay, I quit now. I quit. because I know me, what I'll do. I hate to waste. So I tell myself, well, I'll quit when this bag is done.
I love how Sheargarath put the weight value rather than the currency of pounds
Yeah.
in the silly sausage.
But yeah, I did. And there's enough with the now that I've been pricing refrigerators. And
Okay.
due to a sale that's going on, there is a refrigerator that's in my price range at the moment. So we might be getting a little delivered.
Well, that'd be good.
It's a brand I've never heard of, but I don't care as long as it works.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
People, I've been without I said 6 months the other day, but I got to thinking about it's been more like 8 to 9 months. And that's a long time. I'm not going to know how to act with a working freezer.
Well, you could try using it.
Yeah.
You certainly try using it, dude.
Yeah. But yeah, so things are good. Things are good. I mean, yeah, sure, there's bad stuff happens just like it is to everybody, and there's some personal stuff happening that I can't share with y'all, but that's pretty tough to deal with right now. But overall, things are good.
Yeah, we'll talk about that after. We didn't get a chance.
Yeah,
due to my tech issues.
It'll it'll get better. It'll all work out. It always does. That's why I say I'm a survivor. No matter how bad things have got in my life, I've always come out the other end.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. 3K for a fucking fridge freezer.
Yeah.
You're gonna laugh.
Are you kidding me? The one I'm looking at's $449. I don't want to pay much more than that for a new one. I'm cheap.
Gee, I hope it cooks food for you as well, mate, and takes your bloody dirty washing out of your bedroom and washes them all for you for $3,000.
Yeah.
It better the little water ice hole better serve bloody cocktails through it.
Good
Jeez.
grief. What is it? One of them smart refrigerators that's hooked to the internet or something?
Yeah.
Goodness gracious.
It would jerk me off.
It ought to.
It is an internet fridge freezer then.
Why do you need a refrigerator that's connected to the internet? My God.
The concept of that is insane to me. Like, why? Why? You have a smartphone. Is that not enough? You got to have a friggin' internet connected fridge freezer.
I've seen people on Twitter stream from the refrigerator to Twitter.
We had that bit of news, didn't we, not that long ago, with a girl who had been banned from using like Instagram or whatever it was, and she was using the fridge freezer to contact her followers.
Sarah says try going to the outlets. Yeah, I've been doing some looking around. I actually looking at scratch and dent because I don't care about that. Well, as long as all the parts are there and it is basically new. I don't care if there's a little nick here or something. Who cares? I don't. But this is I'm saving about $100 on it. Like I said, it's a brand. I don't even remember what it is, but we all know that those unknown cheap name brands that we don't know are generally made by the big name brands. It's just one of their subdivisions.
Yeah.
So that's okay. And I'll get the 3-year warranty on it as well. So
good.
It's through Best Buy. And real quick, thank you, William, again for the donation. Just blew my drone's receiver and computer board. Time to stick a dip in and calm down. I haven't dipped tobacco in a long time. Used to all the time when I was younger and I used to work at a sawmill, and unless you've got a real death wish, you don't smoke at a sawmill because sawdust is explosive, people. You don't know if you knew that.
Up you go.
Yeah. Most of us that smoked learned to either dip or chew, and I never did like chewing. That's too much. But
yeah.
Dip,
The smoking alone does enough damage to your teeth as it is. You imagine chewing does way more. Like
I was living in Kentucky at the time, and I remember my mom hated people that dipped or chewed. It was the most disgusting thing in the world to her. And I get that. But she got her and dad come down to visit, and they pulled up in the drive, and she come running up to give me a hug and a kiss. And I'm trying to stop her. I'm like, Mom, wait, because I had a dip in. And she kissed me right on the mouth when I had a dip of tobacco in my mouth.
Oh no.
Now you gotta understand, my mom's the kind, the second you walk in the back door, if you're a smoker, she says, you stink. So she's spitting and like, oh God, I tried to warn you, Mom. But you wouldn't listen.
Well, yeah.
I used to do it then, and then I usually kept a can in my fishing tackle box. So because it was just more convenient to dip than to try to smoke and fish at the same time.
Why is what's the hurry, White Knight? Why are you telling me to hurry up and start my job? Is it because you don't like me being here?
Well, I'm still playing with the idea of going to work at the tobacco store, where I do my business.
Yeah, I thought you'd applied.
No, I haven't yet, because when I went, they had just hired somebody.
You still drop your resume off.
Yeah,
dude.
I'm going to. It's one of those cases where you got to down. They're part of a chain of tobacco stores around the country, at least through the Midwest. And you have to download the application off the
I see.
internet. And I don't have a printer. My wife does, so I've got to get her to print it off because she keeps me locked out of her computer. It's passworded, and I don't know the password. So I can't print it off. But I'll run it up there and give it to them. And
yeah, most employers are like that now. You don't really you can't just drop resumes and CVs off like you used to be able to. You have to print off job applications and that kind of stuff, or you have to download it and then fill it in and send it back.
Yeah, and I figure I'll tell them, if you hire me, I can guarantee you get at least 5 good years out of me. Now, after 5 years, I'm retiring.
So when they inevitably ask you the question, where do you see yourself in 5 years? You'd be like,
retired.
Retired?
I could retire now, but I would have to take a much lesser monthly payment than I would if I wait till I'm 65.
Yeah.
So, but yeah. It's not been bad. And the landlord is very happy.
Out. Yeah.
Which made us happy because my wife she gave him the check this morning.
Yeah.
It hasn't hit the bank yet. So we told him, you have to hold on to that to Monday, but you'll have all the money.
Yeah.
It's all there. And he was so amazed and so happy to have it all at once that he waived our late fee. Our late fees.
Oh, nice.
And,
very nice.
Yeah, which saved us a little bit of money there. So yeah, he's happy.
Oh, that's good. That's really nice of him to do that as well.
Yeah, he really didn't want to. That's the reason he waited so long till it got so bad before he come after us, because he likes having us as tenants. He's told us before he likes having us as tenants.
Yeah, you don't cause any trouble, do you?
Yeah. Other than yelling at kids from the porch, but he don't care about that. He just laughs.
Yeah. Well, yeah, of course. I would laugh too.
Jedi Goes Where says, how mobile am I? My company needs people all the time. DM me. If you mean mobile as am I ambulatory, can I walk? I can now walk without a cane as long as I'm not walking great long distances. But
or driving, perhaps.
Yeah, not sure. Don't know if I want a job driving. I get behind the wheel, I become Jekyll and Hyde. I get mean behind the wheel.
Well, I think that it's normal to get really angry behind the wheel. I mean,
you don't understand.
I mean, I do, man. I had some serious road rage yesterday. I'll tell you about it in a minute.
You don't understand. I will literally pull up next to somebody, roll my window down, and ask them what kind of moron do they think they are. Or and I've done it before, pulled up next to him at the stoplight. I've done this many times. Roll the window down and tell him, put down the cell phone, you freaking idiot, before you kill us all.
Yeah. Good. And rightly so too. But yeah, my road rage may have got a little bit out of control yesterday.
Yeah.
It started snowballing, mate. Where my eldest's school is, the roads are often very filled to the brim, like it's in a residential area, right? So you're heading up this the road at the top of the school, and one side of the road is very narrow as well, like even narrower than normal. And one side has a bunch of parked cars in it usually, right? And of course it was blocked. And so I pull up behind this ambulance that was going up that way. It wasn't like it didn't have its lights on, so it wasn't an emergency. Yeah. And it stopped, for this other car. Car goes past, road's clear. So ambulance starts going ahead, and I get behind it. And we're driving forward and forward and forward. And then the ambulance comes to a stop and tries to squeeze to the left as much as it could. And I'm like, there's a car trying to come down. And I just stopped. I just didn't even move. And lo and behold, female driver comes down in a hatchback, and like she's trying to squeeze through, and she won't stop either. She just keeps going. Right, just trying to squeeze, and I'm looking at her, and she can see me looking at her, right, and I'm giving her just the evils, right, and then she realizes she can't go any further, and then I look at her, and she knows what I'm saying, right, because I'm going, stop fucking coming forward, and then she looked at me and went, ah, and she nods her head, and then she tries to squeeze off onto the path, right, and so that happened. I was like, right, whatever, we'll crack on. Past her, and then I'm looking for a parking space, and it's all filled up, and I have to go around twice. It's really annoying. And why are you standing there? Are you only just going now? Oh my god, how long did that take you to bloody get ready? What happened after the woman? Because there was at least one more thing before the truck, wasn't there?
Oh, dickhead wouldn't move for the coach.
Oh, but that's actually two more things. So the school doesn't have school buses; it has school coaches.
Right.
It was the girl crossing the road.
And yeah, I was about and the girl crossing the road, yeah. And the knobs on the road were parking their cars in positions, right, and ended up blocking the road, so the school coaches couldn't get through. So that caused more of a delay for me, and I was getting really annoyed. I was like, for God's sake, I know it's a brand new year and all new parents, but come on, common sense, motherfucker, right? And so I was like, right, okay, I'm gonna calm down. Pick up the eldest, drive back down that really narrow road again, turn right into the other residential area, and there's a schoolgirl crossing the road, but she's not crossing the road in a straight line. She's crossing diagonally, so it's taking her longer to get across. And I have to slam on, honk my horn, and she just turns her head and gives me a dirty look. So I honk my horn again, like, fuck it. Like, when she looked, I was like, fucking move. You're a friggin' school student. You should know how to cross the road, mate. And that shit actually happened last year, right? And then the next thing happened, right, which I actually got out of the car for. And I basically, you exit the residential area, right, and it goes on to like the carriageway. And to get to it, there's this really fucking steep hill, really steep, and it's bendy. And I come round and I notice that it's a truck, and it's got like a big ass trailer on it. So it's carrying other vehicles on it. Quite long thing. And so I slow down because I come to a stop, because I'm like, right, he's going to need room to squeeze past. And so I come to a stop and notice him trying to get up the hill. But he can't get. But his clutch control is so bad that when he tries to release the brake and lifts his foot up on the clutch, it rolls backwards, and there's two cars behind him. So he nearly hits them in the process, and they have to quickly, like, panically, like, rip their foot off their own brakes to kind of roll back a bit themselves, and they honk the horn. Yeah. So I get out of the car. I put my handbrake on, get out of the car, and I shout out to the driver. I said, "You're right there, mate. Do you need an hand?" And he's a bit deaf, so I have to shout it again. And and then he's like, "Oh, I'm all right, mate. I'm all right." I'm like, "Wait, don't fucking look like you're all right." And so what I do is, because I want to be polite, is I shout down the hill as loud as I can, and you know how loud I can shout, right? And there's a couple of women drivers at the bottom of the hill, and I go, "Oh, just go round him, just go round him. You're blocking up this T junction." And the woman just looks at me, shakes her head, and just lifts her hands up. I'm like, signaling with my hand, "Come here, come up the road." And they're just like shaking their head, going, "What? I don't know what to do." Right, and then that's when I snapped. Right, and I went, "Well, be a bunch of fucking mongs then." And my youngest, who's again peering through the door,
right,
as I'm streaming right now, and he's laughing his ass off. And I roll down the hill, and I slow it down, and I look at the woman. The woman looks at me, and I pointed. I went, "You're a mong," and then drove off.
You made one big mistake there, Alex.
Stop talking. I'm on stream. What's that?
You made one big mistake there, or it would have been a mistake if you were in America. You got out of your car.
Well, that's the thing. This is the UK. I ain't gonna get shot.
Do not get out of your car. That's a mistake. If somebody don't shoot you, they'll run you over.
But yeah, this is the UK, mate. It's more likely I'll get hammered. But it was a older lady. Well, not old enough to be old.
Yeah,
Just late middle age, I'd say. What are you tapping me for? How have you drank your entire? Oh my God! Back in a second.
okay.
And you drank my entire drink.
Oh, I don't swear in front of my. I try not to swear in front of my kids, but yeah. I mean, Alfie found that absolutely hilarious. He was going, "Mong." But I'll be back in a sec.
All right. And chat, how you doing? I don't think I've really addressed you yet today.
Let me check.
Northman, I did see you say that you've been binge watching my stuff, and I appreciate that. And somebody's been watching. I know that. And by the way, this has been just such a busy emotional week for me. That I know that some of you have left comments and I haven't addressed them. I will get to them. I'm sorry to take so long, but it's just been really crazy. It's been really crazy.
I gave you a kiss. What about my kiss? I gave you one. Right.
But folks, if you've left a comment in the last few days, I will get to it. It's just been really nuts for this old man. Some stuff you don't even know about and don't need to know about, but it's just been really nuts, and I will get to it. I did see that they're there, and I will get to it probably after I get through editing episode 14 today of Redneck Track. So of course I could have done it instead of playing 7 Days to Die last night, but I haven't had much chance to play, so I wanted to take it. I was actually a little aggravated yesterday. I got my script done early for Redneck Track, and I thought, well, the wife's not here, and she won't be home for hours. She was over watching my granddaughters at my youngest daughter's house.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, man, it'd be perfect to just go ahead and get that knocked out of the way, and then I got the rest of the day to do what I want to, right?
Mm-hmm.
And just as I pulled up Audacity, this stupid car with the boombox radio, you know what I'm talking about, and you hear all the loose parts on their car rattle as they go by.
Can somebody clip that, please? Because that was quite funny.
It starts circling the neighborhood, and I'm like, oh, for pity's sake. I guess I'll just wait till the night like I usually do. So I did. And you will notice that I'm a little bit hoarse in the recording. It's because I was so very tired. I was really tired by the time I recorded that. So I noticed today while I was cutting it up, I sounded a little bit hoarse. But hoarser than usual. My
Yeah.
gravelly voice was just a tad more gravelly than usual. But yeah, stupid cars. I've always said I wish that I had some kind of ray gun that was like a what do they call that? When they burst a nuke in the upper atmosphere and it kills all electronics.
Or EMP.
An EMP. I wished I had a little ray gun that shot an EMP burst that was very localized, so I wouldn't accidentally hit somebody else. I could just point at these cars and pull the trigger and kill the radio. So
Yeah, kill the car while you're there as well. You may as well do it. Like,
might as well. Might as well. I mean, I get it. I love to listen to my radio loud too, but I'm talking about these nothing but bass. You know what I'm talking?
Yeah. And you can the floor shakes around the car, doesn't it?
Well, it shakes the stuff on my shelves. Is so loud, and these people don't realize the harm they're doing to you. Do you realize that a bass beat at the right frequency and the right volume can stop your heart? It can. That's science fact. That's the reason.
They don't care.
You and I were just recently talking about being next to loud aircraft, jet airplanes, and it hurting our chest. There's a reason it does that. But yeah, you're right. You don't care. But it's not just that. I love music. And if you're nothing but bass, you're missing the treble and the mid range. And, you're missing the way that the person recorded the song to sound like.
They just like to be inside a box of just pure noise, I think. Yeah,
you're right, Diesel Dave. Those stereos are worth more than most of the cars that I see them put in because they're like little hoopties. They're like trash cars. They're barely holding together. And of course, the bass beat's shaking even more of it off. It just cracks me up. You can hear that bass beat going on, and underneath that, you hear every loose part of that car shaking and rattling. So yeah, keep playing it like that. Your car's gonna fall apart around you.
Yeah, you see that kind of crap, or especially where I live, man. That is a couple of lads where I live. They I don't know what they do for a living. I can only imagine. They all drive, done up, souped up hatchbacks. So it's usually a Polo or it's a Golf, something like that, And like they've spent a butt ton of money on those vehicles. They've got the rims on it. They've got this amazing sound system in the car, which of course costs at least 3 times what the vehicle costs because they bought it used. Like much like I did, but they put a spoiler on it. It's like, what, are you planning on racing that piece of crap? Are you exactly? Yeah, their car must have cost around the same as mine was used. Mine was about 400 quid used.
And if that's the way you like to listen to your stereo, that's fine. Like I said, I love to listen to my stereo loud. When I was a teenager, I pulled upside. It wasn't my high school. I dated a girl that went to our rival high school. Really wasn't welcome there to begin with because our high schools hated each other, but I was out of high school at the time. But I went to pick my girlfriend up and I was sitting out front and had my stereo at the time. This is in the late 70s, early 80s, and it was blasting. And the actual principal of the school come out yelling at me, turn that down.
Turn that racket down.
You could see all the people in the classrooms going up to the windows looking to see what it was. I
mean, like I'm an obnoxious douche canoe even now. Like I may not have an amazing sound system in my car, and I've not really invested in it at all. It's not like it's covered in scratches and dents and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. But I will blast my music as loud as I can, and it's metal, right? And I do it outside of my eldest school whilst I wait for him. And I drive past all the students like that as well. So it scares the shit out of the students. And the head teacher hates me. Well, honestly, like when I sent her an email, do you remember me saying about that?
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, hi, I'm so-and-so's dad. You might have seen me. I'm the obnoxious twat outside the school playing loud rock music. I think that's why she come back so passive aggressive to me in the email.
Michael Weiner, that's exactly my problem. I live on the corner lot too. And so, yeah, they just stop right out front and just brr, 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 brr. That's what it sounds like. And I'm sorry, I get wanting to listen to music loud, but that just sounds like crap, people. I'm going to be honest with you. It sounds like crap.
Yeah, man, I get it all the time, man. Because I've got the dogs which like to bark, as you know, Nick, from next door. I've got the trains, the big, the heavy duty, what night trains as well. On top of all that, the big trade trains they drive past, including the super quick passenger trains. I've got the kids. Yeah, you're right, Michael. I've got my own noise from inside my house. I've got knobheads. Oh yeah, freight trains. That's the word I was looking for. Thank you, Joel. And the thing is, at the back of my house, literally with a few feet, is what we call a service area, right? You don't get any service there. All it is just a bit of road. It's just a big square bit of road, and you can park your car there. There's room enough to swing a cat, and it connects to the garages which are around the side of the house. All proper council estates crap like that. And you get these fucking kids. I'm saying kids like I'm much older than them. Well, I probably am. I'm probably like 9, 10 years older than them, but I've got the old man mentality now. What can I say? They'll park up their Golfs and their Polos and Chavmobiles, and they're all blasting that crap. All I can hear is bah, blah, 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 just like that, just like what you hear.
Yeah.
And they're doing something to their engines. I don't know what. I guess they're just pretending to soup them up, tune them up. And then you get that one knobhead on the estate who drives round on a dirt bike, just going round and round and round and round.
Oh yeah, I get those.
Ding, 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 ding.
We get those go-karts, you name it. We even got some old guy on a golf cart rides around the neighborhood. Owen Harmon, though, I did one. Yeah, on a golf cart. Owen Harmon said, "Good evening, everyone. I'm at a medieval reenactment event in the middle of a storm. Hope nobody's wearing armor because you're in the middle of a storm."
That's awesome.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, of course, now I listen to loud music because I have to listen to it loud because I can't hear all those years of blowing my eardrums out. Besides, working around loud noises for years and years. I was a mechanic, worked in mechanics for 13 years. And trust me, people, pneumatic tools are loud. They take a toll. And then 8 years at the airport. Yeah, my poor hearing didn't have a chance. Asked if I want to have a Ford Mustang over a Chevrolet Citation. I'm not a real big Ford fan, but given that choice, I would probably take the Mustang over the Citation. Yeah.
Why is everyone explaining to Michael Weiner what a knobhead is?
It's pretty easy to figure out, I think.
You've heard me say it before, Michael, haven't you? Or maybe you haven't, I guess.
Oh, Michael asked what it said. He asked.
Knobhead. It means dickhead.
Yeah.
It's
a Richard Cranium.
A more British way of saying something,
Yeah. It called a Richard Cranium.
There you go.
Yeah. I used to work with. Remember the story I told where I flipped a cigarette down the guy's t-shirt?
Yeah.
Well, that guy had a big, how people will put things in the top of their windshield or the back of their glass that says stuff,
Yeah.
And in the top of his window, it said King Richard because his name was Richard.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, "So is your last name Cranium?" And he looked at me for the longest time before it finally dawned on him what I was calling him. So you're a little slow on uptake, aren't you?
Oh dear, silly sausage. Oh yeah, that Michael for the school of Britishisms and insults. probably go watch some of my old road rage videos, mate. There's some really colorful language in there that I think you'd enjoy.
Yeah. I'll be right back in just a second. I'm not even going to mute myself. I'm going to run and grab a cup of coffee. I
He's
had
not going
just
to
made
run.
No, I'm going to walk at a fast clip.
Yeah, he's going to walk.
I'm going to waddle.
He's going to waddle as fast as he can.
But I just made a fresh pot, and I want to get it going. I'll be right back.
Of course he does. He's an endless supply of coffee, ladies and gents. An endless supply of coffee. And good news, everybody, as well. Prior to the stream, I was working on a little summon, and some of you may have know what I'm talking about because I have spoken about it a couple of times publicly. But I was making the intro for the Dread Zone, and it's nearly finished. It's nearly complete. All the sounds and music and stuff is in there. So I just need to write out how to structure those live streams. So you guys can look forward to one of those very, very soon. I've decided to do them. I've decided to do the Dread Zone. So yeah, I will be bringing Bloodwing along to hold my hand.
I'll do it. Don't expect me not to laugh, because if you get extra crazy, I won't be able to stop myself. Chuckle. I'll mute my mic. That's what I'll do.
Yeah, Quinn the Cultist. I have that first one in my wish list. I don't think I have Madame, which is I'm not sure. Not sure I know what that is.
I'm getting mixed feelings on that one. I watched the Man of Medan, whatever it's called. Is that what you're talking about?
Medan.
Yeah. I seen Markiplier. I watched part of a playthrough that he done on it, and he didn't seem to like it too much. But then I seen, I didn't watch it, but I seen a thumbnail for Jacksepticeye that seemed to, it's a really scary game.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. People seem to be split on it, but
I don't know. I don't even know what it is. I'll have to have a look.
It seems to be one of those games where, you make a lot of choices, and the choices you make changes the game as you go along.
Yeah.
So you get into a lot of dialogue options and choose what to say to people,
Okay.
Kind of thing.
Okay. I'll have to check it out.
But yeah. Speaking of games, though, I mentioned 7 Days to Die earlier. I played it last night. Finally played a Horde night.
Hey.
Very underwhelmed. Very underwhelmed. You were talking up the Horde and all that, and everybody.
Well, no, I didn't talk it up, dude. I just said that there's a few different aspects to it,
But this was just the first one, day 7, and I done what I usually done on Alpha 16 when I don't have a lot of time to build a base. So what I do is I look and find a water tower, build a ladder up that water tower, build a platform of wood frames around it so I can walk all the way around it, and put up some torches, then surround it with just as many wooden spikes as I can possibly make, and just sit up there. And I never had to shoot a single one. And by 1 o'clock in the morning, it was over. So I was a little underwhelmed with that. Thank you, Owen Harmon, for the donation. Please say,
don't do it. I bet it's like I'm a massive gayer or something in Hungarian.
Magyar Ország. It's Hungary in Hungarian, and the guys listening with me will get themselves laughing. Oh, good laugh at the redneck because he can't say, he can't speak properly. Well, there you go. I attempted to say it. Hope that tickled him. Hope that tickled him. But anyway, also on 7 Days to Die, I finally got a forge. Finally.
Hey.
And then after I got the forge, I got to poking around, and I didn't have to spend as much points as I had it. The reason it wasn't giving it to me because I wasn't high enough level yet. But in the where you spend your points, it kept saying, well, you got to have more points in this attribute to get this. So I did, but it wasn't so bad. I didn't mind spending what I spent anyway because the points in that make you craft better stuff and faster. So
yeah,
yeah, finally got a forge. Don't have a crafting table yet because I'm not high enough level, but I do got a forge. Fired that dude up too, and then attracted every zombie in the neighborhood.
Yeah, I always forget about the heat map.
I was trying to dig a tunnel because I've got an idea. I'm going to make a tunnel under the street because my base right now is in a house. I'm going to make a tunnel under the street, dig it under and across the street, and come up in this field that's across the street from my house. And then I'm going to build kind of like a tower there, and that'll be my Horde Night base over there. And so I'm trying to dig this tunnel under the street. I had to keep stopping to go kill zombies because they're attacking my house because of the forge because it was running. Daggone it.
I remember watching Capu a lot, YouTuber who does like almost all of his content is to do with 7 Days to Die.
Yeah.
And he'd run various experiments in the game, trying to work out like where the heat map would end, like how much could you hide the heat map, could you, he would like build like a bunch of forges in a barn, and then he'd have his own actual one that he wants to use in like a different area, and he wants to see whether he could distract them, and he would dig as deep as you could possibly go to see whether the heat map could be seen by the screamers from down there, and he'd also build towers to see how high he would have to get. Good channel, actually.
Yeah.
Shame though, because like he's expressed wanting to make other content, but he's trapped himself.
Did you watch that video that Monkey was giving you behind the scenes?
Yeah, I watched it. Yeah. That's crazy.
The what was it called? The Destroyer or Devastator?
Destroyer, Demolisher.
Demolisher. Yeah, that dude looks nuts.
Oh yeah. He had to put some rounds in that thing to take it down.
You ain't kidding with an M60 yet, because that's something new that they've added to is the M60 for Alpha 18. But I was getting tickled because this is a dev. He's not just a dev; he's the lead dev. And here he is getting his butt kicked on a Horde Night.
Yeah, I was thinking that myself. It's like, isn't he a part of the dev team?
He's the lead dev.
Why was he getting dicked?
And I was sitting there laughing at him like, dang up, dude. And you would think he would have put, he had a good idea with the iron bars in front of him because you can shoot through them.
Yeah.
On his face. But he should have put them over him. That would have kept all them, because he was getting ganked by them vultures coming down.
Yes, he was. Yeah. And lo and behold, guess what made me jump watching the video?
The vultures?
The first vulture. Good night, Owen. Have a good one, mate.
Yeah, have a good one, buddy.
Feel better, dude. But as most of you pretty much figured out, the Dread Zone is something that I'm planning on doing, and it's not going to be just me playing a game that scares the shit out of me. There's going to be a couple of other things in there as well to really give you that the best kind of production value that I can achieve to you guys as well. And the original purpose of the stream was to think, it'd be a great way to raise money for charity, but at the same time, I also think it'd be a generally good prospect for myself to kind of have as well, so the first one that I do won't be for charity. It would be more of a tester, if anything. And as you guys know, you've seen how scared I get, You've seen how utterly terrified I get.
Yeah,
I
RJ
think that,
Bandsman's out there in the chat saying Alex is scared by vultures. He's scared by anything that just suddenly appears. He's very easily startled.
yeah, don't do it in real life because you're likely to get headbutted. I'm not even kidding. You will get nutted if you do it in real life. But yeah, I'm not just easily startled, but easily fucking scared as well.
Yeah.
And games like that, you know, as I've tried to say, I experience things very differently to other people. It's definitely like I know I have autism just based on that. Because to me, when I'm playing it, it's like I'm there. It's like it's a real experience, you know, and that tension is so much stronger for me. And I know that sounds ridiculous, but I don't know how else to express it. So I know that you guys watching me shit myself and trying to play a game and just trying to get from A to B in one of these games would be entertaining to watch.
Yeah.
Why would you headbutt a woman? It's not an act of aggression. It's not an act of anger.
It's a reflex action. I told the story. I almost punched my dad once for walking up behind me and scaring me. And
Sarah gets me. She gets me.
Yeah, but without even thinking about it, I spun around, had my fist cocked, and almost punched him.
Yeah.
You know, and I would never hit my dad, not on purpose. No way.
You know, I'd headbutt a baby if a baby startled me. You know what I mean? Like, no, obviously a
Well,
baby wouldn't.
I'll tell you the truth. I was startled earlier while I was editing my video.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just really engrossed in what I was doing. It was a particular little. It was kind of a tricky little piece. There was a section that I wanted to pan and zoom at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So I was messing with the keyframes and all that. And it was intricate little work, you know.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden my wife come out, and I didn't see her come out because I couldn't see her past my screen, and started talking to me. She come out of the bedroom and started talking to me, and I about jumped out of the chair. Oh crap. Because I didn't know she was there.
Don't quote me, Scotsman. Don't quote me.
Yeah. Just know that yes, it will be entertaining, but just know that everybody's laughing with you, not at you.
They are laughing at me 100%, but that's fine. That's fine. I wanted to create something a little bit different. Obviously, the streams would be limited and heavily structured. It would be very heavily structured. I want to separate the stream into like a probably around an hour format. The intro is so far is how long is it? 1 minute and 39 seconds. But I'm planning on like having the intro. Then I'm gonna have something else there. Then it will go into the actual stream. You know, like where I say hello and all that kind of stuff. Then play the game for a bit until I, you know, poo myself. And then add in a couple other things to it if I can. Have an actual structure. I'm building it in Streamlabs OBS rather than OBS Studio.
Gotcha.
I'm making full use of Streamlabs Prime while I'm friggin' paying for it.
Well, yeah.
Yes.
Michael Weiner, you're right. Should never hit your parents. And I never have and never did. I let my mom, well, I didn't let her, but, you know, my mom beat the crap out of me and knocked me out a plate glass door. Knocked me through it, and it's because I wouldn't fight her back. You know, no, I'm not gonna hit my parents. Ain't gonna happen. Of course, now you know the one left is Dad. He's so pitiful in his little wheelchair. There's no way I'm gonna.
Oh, bless him. Bless him. I need to go for a poo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I spoke to Misa today.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. She's all right. She's all right.
Good. She sent me a tweet or two during the whole GoFundMe when it first broke. So yeah, I heard from her then. But
yeah, she's all right. Yeah, she was actually one of the first people to tell me about my missus' Twitter account being hacked. Yeah, I was like, oh, thanks for letting me know. But yeah, I better go toilet. Excuse me.
Okey doke. And while he's wait a minute, I have something for just such occasions. Had it saved because I knew it would happen. There we are. Yeah. Oh, and while I'm thinking about it, as any of you that are fans and notice, hey, Joel Brown. Um, well, that's not Alex.
It's turned into a girl.
He's turned into a girl. Well, I knew that was happening. I just didn't think it was happening so quick.
Yeah.
How are you, Vanilla?
So.
So. Okay.
Yeah. Can't believe I got hacked.
Uh,
But anyhow. Shit happens, doesn't it?
It does. It does. And especially if you're like Alex and you're on the pooper.
Well, yeah. It wasn't, oh, can you go and out blood out? It's get on stream. Fine.
But anyway, real quick, let me say this. I know that those of you that follow know that the Redneck Trek premieres Sundays at 5:30, and this episode will premiere tomorrow at 5:30. After that, I'm probably going to change days, or at the very least change times, because it's football season, people, and 5:30 on a Sunday is right in the middle of football games. And I'm sorry, but my football wins.
Yeah, I would be the same.
But I will on Tuesday stream. I'll try to decide before Tuesday, and I will let you for sure know what the new time will be, so that everybody has a heads up. Yeah, that's going to be happening. Redneck Trek will still come out weekly and premiere weekly, but it'll just be at a different time during football season. Angry Illinois says you're my kind of person, but I'm not as bad as I used to be. My weekends used to be nothing but football. I used to go to the local high school, my alma mater, to all their football games on Friday. Saturday, I'd done nothing but watch college football all day, and then of course Sunday through Monday is NFL. But anyway, so not too bad for you, huh?
Yeah, I'm enjoying the time off.
Oh, you've got time off?
Yeah, I'm on casual hours now, so
I'm
enjoying my time.
I bet. Yeah, it can get old though. It can get old. Take it for somebody that hasn't had a job for 4 years. It gets old sitting around the house sometimes.
You know, I'm actually enjoying it.
Well, yeah, at first
I've been
you
working
do.
for 5 years non-stop on night, so I'm actually enjoying it. I'm
Well,
sleeping.
at first you do. Absolutely you do. But then after a time, it starts to wear thin and get old, and you're like, God, I wish I had something to do.
I have my mate's horse I've got to ride, so
Yeah.
that's going to be my pastime as well.
Well, there you go. There you go.
And looking after these three.
Yeah, well, that's a full-time job right there in itself.
Oh, it is. Definitely is.
I don't need to hear about your poop spoon, Alex.
Oh, God. Jesus.
Sir Shaga, Bloodwing, forgive me my ignorance if this is known. What's your team? Pardon my cheesehead. Always forget that's on. The Colts, dude. And my second favorite is the Giants, because I was a Giants fan for his Colts. But I live in Indianapolis, so yeah, the Indianapolis Colts are my team, dude. Yeah, I bleed blue and white this time of year.
It's like when Alfie was born, we got sent a Detroit Tigers kit, baby kit. It was actually quite nice, orange and blue.
Yeah.
And the hat as well. Reese's got the Detroit Tigers hat, and Alfie has.
Yeah. Quinn, the cultist, the Colts, not the Colts, the Colts.
Not
Quit
them
making
ones.
fun of my redneck accent, daggum you.
Now you can get off his lawn yard.
Yeah, exactly.
Get off my yard.
But
He's back.
no, it's all good. I don't care if people make fun of my accent. I make fun of my accent. Heck, my cell phone makes fun of my accent.
No,
Please.
I'm cooking.
Yeah, kid, make me a drink while you're there. Because you're lovely.
Diesel Dave, yeah, my Colts are, yeah. After Andrew Luck retired, they're probably. I think 8-8 would probably be generous this year. Thank you, Cryptic, for the donation. Let's. Oh, that's because I'm not on comments. There we go. All right. The Dolts ? Yeah, that's what we used to call them back when they were a losing team consistently. But yeah, not anymore. They'll win some games this year because we do got a lot of good players, but without a premier quarterback, we're not even going to win the division. I don't think. No. But anyway. Just be aware that this Sunday will probably be the last Sunday that Redneck Trek will premiere, and by Tuesday I will let you know what the new day will be.
Why is that, mate?
Because football, NFL games are mostly on Sunday, and I've got to watch my football, dude.
Well, yeah, I guess so, but I mean, you'll have to start making your videos faster.
Yeah, well, probably. Chances are, the biggest chance, it'll probably be pushed back to Mondays, sometime on a Monday.
Okay.
Since my Mondays are open, but there's a chance it might be pushed forward to Saturday after the stream, but that's not likely.
Yeah.
But Quinn Nicole, I don't like soccer, and I'm not sure where you're at, Quinn, but the British started the term soccer. And then want to give us grief because they backed away and said, "Psych, we're not going to call it that anymore."
Shh.
Yeah,
just let it happen, old man. Just let it happen.
And yes, I'm very aware of where they're from, Jay Wolf. I was an adult with kids when the Colts moved here, so yeah, I'm very aware of that. You guys forget I'm old. I used to watch Joe Montana play football regularly. So yeah, I'm old. So anyway, what else we got? What else can we just blather about? Seems to be working well for us so far. So we might as well just keep blathering.
Well, we had a very interesting conversation on Breakfast with Bear this morning.
Yeah.
And I can't remember what it was about. What was it? Oh yeah, forced positivity.
Forced positivity.
Yeah, you know the YouTubers that do that kind of forced positive message, usually via their videos or via Twitter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I know what you mean. There's like, for instance, there's this, you all know that I like to watch music reaction channels, and there's one guy that just drives me nuts. A kid in his 20s, and I don't care what the song is, whatever the song is, it's the best song he's ever heard. Oh my God. Yeah, you talking about that kind of thing?
Well, that and a little bit more. These kind of content creators who, not only do that force themselves to be happy for the video's sake. When it's blatantly obvious that they're not happy. Right. I know there was a big hullabaloo a little while back about this kind of idea about forcing positivity in your videos, but when they try to drive home a message about it, and it's like, oh, be more positive. It's like, fuck you.
Yeah.
That is a useless message. That doesn't mean anything. You have a super chat there, mate.
Yeah. Thank you, Cryptic, for the donation. And if the chat would quit jumping, that'd be great. There we go. Broncos are a better franchise than the Dolts. Yeah. That's why they lost so many Super Bowls in a row before they finally won some. Yeah, you're right. Shut up, Cryptic. You got to understand, that's the way it is, Alex. With football, people of rival team, which the Broncos are not our rivals by any means, but people of other teams, that's just what we do. We crap talk each other, and that's part of the fun.
Well, yeah, but that's standard in soccer,
Yeah,
as well, and or any sport. I feel.
yeah. Bite me, functional football's for gayers. If you're talking about NFL, bite me.
It's for gayers. Is he a hockey fan? Is he?
I have no idea. He is Canadian, I do believe, so that might be.
I thought it was the law in Canada.
Yeah.
That you had to be a ice hockey fan. I mean, I like the movie Goon and Goon 2. If that earns me any points,
If I understood hockey, I would probably like it better.
Mm.
But I don't understand the rules. I never have. I've tried. I tried to get into hockey, and I'm dating myself way back when, the Americans played the Russians in that game in the Olympics.
Yeah.
That it's been a long time ago now, but tried to get into it. I just don't understand it. Don't get the rules. It's like soccer on ice to me.
Soccer on ice.
Yeah.
The musical. Shit, I'd watch it.
Yeah. I've watched it a few times, hockey, but I don't get it. And the rules have changed so much now. I understand. I don't follow it so much, but it doesn't seem as violent and as now. And that was really the only reason to watch hockey that I could figure out was for the fights. So yes, the Miracle on Ice, Vizier. You're right. Yeah. And yes, Sir Wolf gang, sorry, my eyes skipped. Jared Hart Norris, my team as the Chiefs could be worse, I guess. Yeah, absolutely could be worse. The Chiefs are a good team. You got a heck of a quarterback there. Heck of a quarterback. But I get it, functional. You don't like the NFL. You don't like American football. You think it's totally gay. You're wrong. You're totally wrong. Of course, but I give you a pass because you're Canadian. So
yeah. there is that issue in general. He is Canadian.
Yeah. But
bless him.
Yeah, it's going to have to move because I got to thinking, and it'll probably happen tomorrow because the Colts game is on while I'll be premiering. So I'll probably have it on in another tab because I do watch on my computer, not the TV. And it's how well I dual task, which is not at all.
Yes. Indeed.
And I don't want to take away from my fun because I really have a lot of fun on my premieres. So, yeah, and I don't want to cheat people like that. But it's football, and it's the one thing that I'm passionate about.
Well, that's perfectly acceptable in my mind.
Yeah. And I do like NASCAR, of course. I'm a redneck. Of course I do.
Mm-hmm.
We Redneck started NASCAR. I don't know if you're aware, you probably are because it's pretty well known, or not now, but I don't know if you're aware, Alex, that NASCAR was actually started by a bunch of moonshine runners back in the late 40s.
Okay.
To run moonshine, to outrun the law and the revenuers, they'd have these really fast cars, and they took that skill and applied it to auto racing. And a great many of the people who participated early on were actually moonshine runners. And a lot of the big names that came later were actually the spawn of people that had raced that were moonshine runners, like, Richard Petty. His dad was a racer in NASCAR before him, and he was a moonshine runner. So, yeah, it's a redneck sport.
Well, I know it's a redneck sport. I couldn't imagine it being anything else, really. But no, I don't see the why it's so interesting. But
have you ever watched a compilation of NASCAR crashes?
That'd be why then the car crashing.
Yeah.
Oh, don't bring me food now. Oh, I am hungry. Thank you.
But one of the appeals of NASCAR over like open wheel racing, like F1 and IndyCar and all that, one of the appeals is that there's actually bumping and stuff that goes on. And if you've done that in an open wheel car, one or the other or both are going to flip.
Yeah.
You know, so there's a lot of bumping and rubbing, and it can get pretty exciting. You know,
Well, yeah.
it's not just turning left.
No, I know that, but I don't really see the general appeal.
But yeah, there's plenty of times during a race that you can go take a smoke break or go to take a dump on the bathroom, and you're not going to miss a whole lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a redneck sport, and we do love it.
Well, I know you do. But you said some, like, I asked you a few questions about NASCAR a while ago, didn't I? And you can't drink anymore. Is that true? Like, you can't have like what you used to have in the middle with like the caravans and people jumping on roofs and stuff like that. You don't really do that anymore.
Well, that's pretty much here at the track here in Indianapolis. I don't know about the other tracks around the country, but the 500-mile track, which they also have a NASCAR event here as well. We used to call it the Snake Pit, and yeah, they closed the Snake Pit because it just got too wild. People were dying. It's literally people were dying.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, but there was back in the day, it was pretty crazy. You know, people would actually bring couches and mattresses and stuff and throw them out on the ground.
That sounds like a good time.
Yeah, it was. But it got very dangerous because people were also bringing their dirt bikes and riding them all over and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah. As you do.
You know, and people be up on top of their RVs with signs that show us your boobs, you know, to the girls walking by. And most of the time they would, you know.
But you can't do that in the current year.
So, yeah, things have changed. It's 2019. We can't have fun.
That's quite sad, actually, really.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
But I don't know about the other racetracks and what their rules are. I know here at Indianapolis, they did end the snake pit and crack down on stuff like that. But yeah, you can drink at the track. You know, in fact, they make big money off of selling beer. You know.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah.
What self-respecting redneck's going to go to any kind of sporting event if they can't buy beer?
Oh yeah. It's about to say.
You know, but yeah. Football. Yay. I'm excited. Even though my team is going to just absolutely stink this year, I just know it. Feel it in my bones. I'm still going to watch.
I'm sure they'll be fine.
Yeah, but you don't understand. Before Andrew Luck retired, we had every chance, as good a chance as anybody in the NFL to make a run at the Super Bowl. When he retired, that chance completely fell away. And like I said earlier, we'll be lucky if we finish with a 500 record. And I think that's generous. And that's only because we do have other good players.
Yeah.
You know, they can make plays. But without that premier quarterback, you just don't have that extra something special to, you know, pull them close games out.
Yeah. I feel you. I get what you mean. But stop being so goddamn pessimistic, old man.
Well, I'm realistic. You were talking about being forced. What'd you call it? Forced
positivity. You mean?
Yeah. I'm a pretty positive guy most of the time, but I'm a realist. I look at things real. You know, I try to look at them the way that they really are. And the fact of the matter is that our chances were hurt significantly by losing Andrew. So, Zombie Teddy, Chad Kelly didn't look too bad. He's got some issues, and as a matter of fact, he's suspended for the first 2 games. You'll find this funny, Bear. We've got a young quarterback that we got. Well, first, real quick, thank you, Cryptic, for the donation. Let me get over here where I can show it on screen because that's what I like to do. If Jimmy Boy wasn't cheap in the O line, what? Cheap in the O line? Are you kidding? We had the best O line in football last year, dude. You're out of your mind. What are you smoking?
Uh-oh.
I mean, absolutely, it's a fact. We had the absolute best O line in the NFL. The stats hold that up. What the heck are you talking about?
Here we go. Are you doing an NFL stream? Yeah.
I'd like to, but I just don't feel right doing it without J Kid.
Yeah.
You know? But anyway, as a backup quarterback, he was a young undrafted. In fact, we picked him up from Cryptic's Broncos. He had last played for the Broncos last October. He got released from the game, from the team, because, and that's why he's got to serve a 2-game suspension for us, because this goes back to October when he was with the Broncos.
Yeah.
He got drunk at another player's house at a party. And he got so drunk that he wandered into some stranger's house.
Oh, no.
Sat down on the couch with them.
Oh, no.
Carried on a conversation which was incoherent, all while dressed as a cowboy.
Wow. All right.
Yeah, exactly. So he's got to serve a 2-game suspension at the beginning of this year because of that. He had not played for anybody in that interim, but he shows some talent. He swears he's learned his lesson, that he's going to, be an adult and not get all wasted and party and stuff like that.
Yeah.
He knows this is his last chance,
Yeah.
But he has the genetics. His uncle is a very famous NFL quarterback from the past, Jim Kelly. So, yeah, he has to miss the first 2 games, and he's not going to be the starter. Brissett will be the starter, and he's earned it. He's put his time in with the team. He just doesn't. He's not a premier quarterback. There's a reason he's been a backup quarterback where he's been. And he's good at that. He's a good backup quarterback, but he's not starting quarterback material. Thank you, Cryptic, for the donation. He was cheap for 3 years before that, barely spent any money. They drafted good last year. Luck got hurt the year prior due to the worst O-line. Yeah, it was pretty bad, but they fixed the O-line, and they done some more fixing of the O-line this year, as well as the defensive line. And it wasn't because Jim was cheap, is because our previous general manager didn't know how to draft. We have a new general manager now, and that's wasn't on Jim. He tends to leave things like the running of the team to the coaches and the general manager. As crazy as Jim is, and he is nuts. He's a nutcase. He doesn't get, he lets the coaches and whatnot do his job. And you can sit out there in the chat all you want to, Cryptic, and say Jim was cheap all you want. But you don't live here. You don't know. It wasn't because Jim was cheap. It was because the general manager was crap at drafting. We've got an awful O-line. The general manager at the time drafts a receiver who no longer is with the team, by the way. Are you kidding me? Yeah, you don't know what you're talking about, Cryptic. You have no clue what you're talking about. None at all. Not on that subject. But anyway, I'll fight you. And yes, I know Bandsma. He's roasting me. And no, he doesn't interfere, Cryptic. You're showing your ignorance, dude. You're really showing your ignorance. I don't doubt that you follow the Colts, but you can't follow them any closer than the people that live here. And I actually have talked to the man in person. So, yeah. And trust me, while I worked at the limousine company, I got a lot of inside information on the Colts because we were their official carrier of their players. So
Yeah.
we would hear stuff. But yeah, regardless, Diesel Dave, you're right. If you're well, maybe you're right. If you're talking dim boys about Cowboys had the best line in NFL, no, the Colts do right now, and the stats have held that up. But that's not going to be enough to win us all the games. So, anyway, I'll get off the NFL because I know you don't know anything about it.
No, it's perfectly fine, mate. I'm trying to eat, so it's helpful.
Cryptic was triggering me. I'm triggered.
Well,
I got PTSD.
Yeah. No, you crack on, man.
Yeah.
I'm trying to eat.
And he hasn't said anything for a minute, which means he's probably typing out a massive wall of text to explain his position. And I don't care, Cryptic. You're full of crap.
You're full of crap, Cryptic.
You're full of crap.
You're full of
it. But see what else we got. What else we got besides the NFL? Did we really discuss what you brought up? We kind of got off subject.
No, we didn't, but I am eating, so.
Yeah. Cryptic says you're full of old, so either way I win. How does that make you win? Old means I'm wiser and know more than you do. Sit down and shut up, boy. The adults are talking.
Oh, dear.
Cigar chomping penguin. My team is the Giants. I don't know stuff about the Colts. Yeah, my second favorite team is the Giants, and that's because I was a Giants fan before the Colts came to Indy, and it's just carried over. And I was a fan of them all the way through their great success through the 80s and early 90s. So yeah. Unfortunately, that success hasn't carried over except in just here and there in spots. And your boy Pat says to the corner, Cryptic.
Off you go.
Diesel Dave. Yo, I'm not saying you don't have the Cowboys don't have a good online. Yeah, they do. They absolutely do. And that was one of the reasons they were able to run the ball so well previously. Yeah. I don't know. It might be close. It might be close. I'll give you that much. How about that? I'll get that the Cowboys O line and the Colts O line are close. We'll give you that much. But anyway, I'm not ignoring you, Badger. What did you say that I ignored?
Oh God, he's talking football now as well, isn't he?
Guess who's got more wins than the rest of the league? That's because they're the only ones that they've played, you moron. His Packers played Thursday, and they're them and the Bears are the only two teams that have played in the regular season so far because it was a Thursday game. Of course they got more wins, you goofball.
Let's kick it off. American football hooliganism. Right here, live on Redneck Radio.
Oh, football arguments can get downright in your face, and we don't throw hands. It don't go that well unless you're a Raiders fan. But you know, it's just all in the fun. It's just all in the fun. You know, we might sound like we're all upset and really fighting, but it's just part of the fun. You know.
Oh, good. I'm glad.
I used to have my buddy over that I worked with at the limousine company, and he was a Bears fan and hated the Colts. And I'd invite him over, and he'd come over and he'd take over my grill. He's a chef, actually. That's what he doesn't work at the limo company anymore. He runs his own catering company now.
Oh, very nice.
But he would come over, take over my grill a bunch of food, and we'd talk crap at each other. And he's from Chicago. Trust me, he can talk some crap. Yeah, my coffee maker just shut off. I don't know if you all heard that beep, 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 but yeah.
I heard it.
Yeah, my coffee maker talks to me.
Mm. Bless him.
It's Skynet. They're taking over. I swear my coffee maker and my toaster conspire against me all the time.
Mhm.
All colts eventually grow up to be Broncos, old man. Right. Uh-huh.
Mhm.
Right.
I'm enjoying the banter. Keep going.
Keep going, Cryptic. Every time you open your mouth, you show how ignorant you are.
Yeah. Ignorant.
Yeah. Keep going. Jedi goes by. I've always said that we need to get Bear into football. I bet he'd like it. I'd love to figure out some way to get him to actually sit down and watch a live game with me, at the same time. I'd love to figure out how to do it and explain the game to him, the rules to him best I could as he's watching. I absolutely think that he would enjoy it. I mean,
Probably.
if nothing else, the physicality of it. I mean, it's a very, very physical sport. There's a reason they wear all those pads and helmets.
Well, yeah, I know.
Because those boys are out there throwing their bodies around like guided missiles.
Yes, and it's not the smartest idea to do that, is it?
No, nobody said they were the smartest people in the world. But it's enjoyable. It's fun to watch.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think I would enjoy it. I've watched plenty of American foosball films, so I don't see why I wouldn't enjoy an actual game.
Yeah, you just need to understand the rules a little bit. You wouldn't even have to understand all the rules to get enjoyment out of it. Just sort of the basics. The ball isn't allowed to touch the floor. It's all I know about American football. Well, it can if it's a fumble. If it's a fumble, and those are some of the biggest hits and the biggest crashes sometimes during a fumble when everybody on both teams, all 22 men, are trying to jump on that ball bouncing around, and shaped the way that it does, it takes some really funny bounces. So, yeah, it can touch the ground in certain situations.
So I'm eating, mate, but
no, you're fine. You're fine. The only team, Bansless is the only team I watch are the Carolina Panthers. Well, hey, teach their own. Teach their own. We all got our favorites. Functional says, see jumping on balls. How is that not gay? Oh, Functional, you poor Canadian. Yeah.
Methinks you doth protest too much. But seriously, Functional, are you an ice hockey fan? Are you?
He stated earlier that he respects the skill that it takes to play the game, but no, he's not really into hockey. I take it he's not much of a sports fan, period.
Well, he keeps breaking the law then.
I know you do, Function. I love you too. It's just Vance, dude. It's just Vance. You know me. If I like you, I pick on you. And I've seriously had people tell me over the years, I wish you didn't like me so much, because I pick on them a lot. It's just what we do. Oh shoot, you should hear me and my kids when we get together. You'd think we all hated each other. It gets pretty rough.
Oh, good.
But that's just the way we are.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, Pat, like I said earlier, I'd probably enjoy hockey more if I understood the rules better, and I just don't. And yeah, I can imagine, Jim, that watching hockey live would be a much different experience. Yeah, it probably would be a game that's fun to watch live. You go to a football game live, which I've been to a couple, NFL games, not very many, because God, they cost a lot of money. You're lucky that you can even see what's happening on the field, because some of those cheap seats are way the heck up in nosebleed territory. Let's see what else we got here. I'm just going to carry on conversation with the chat. Why not?
Yeah,
It's my stream. I can do what I can do what I want to.
That's right.
Yeah, I'll give you that, Angry Illinois. Hockey is more exciting than soccer. And I've tried to watch soccer, but I just don't get it. It's boring as crap to me. And I recognize that these boys got to have skill to do what they do, or girls. That's sexist.
Mm-hmm.
I know they got to have skill to do what they do, but what they do just bores the life out of me. It's like baseball. I love to play baseball, and I was a pretty decent baseball player back in the day. It's actually the only sport I ever lettered in school. I was a pretty decent second baseman. But to watch a game bores the crap out of me. I'd rather watch paint dry. I will fall asleep on a baseball game, honest to God. I love to play it, though.
Well, I think that's the case for a lot of sports, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Yeah. It's fun to watch. And I was, like I said, I was a decent second baseman back in the day. Not anymore, not even close. I don't have the wheels for it.
Soccer is more boring than baseball. Behave yourself.
I don't get it. Yeah, I don't understand the appeal. It just doesn't grab me. Whatever it is that grabs people and makes them rabid fans doesn't grab me. But hey, if that's your thing, then hey, knock yourself out. Thank you, Cryptic, for the donation. Hockey is fun to watch. Soccer is boring.
Go to bed. Now.
Okay.
Sorry, mate.
Bed now. Snooker is the one for me. Joel Brown says, I like doing it, don't like watching. I love to play pool. I used to be a pretty good billiards player.
What did you just call that?
What? Pool?
What you said before.
He said snooker, which is a form of that. It's just on.
You mean snooker?
Yeah, snooker.
Oh my God.
Shut up, you freaking Brit.
Snooker. Not snooker.
Yeah, it's different, but it's similar. It's a very similar game. So, bite me. I have played snooker. I know what it's like. Weiner's gone. Oh, he left? I didn't even see him. Didn't even see him. You say it your way, Alex, and I'll say it mine, and we'll both
snooker.
Snooker. I'm going to keep saying it wrong just to annoy you, right?
Yeah, I'm going to come to America and ruin your day, mate.
Right wing BDSM guy, as in Superfly Jimmy Snuka. Yeah, right. I have played snooker, but I played a whole lot more billiards, mostly 8 or 9 ball, and used to be a pretty decent player. Had my own pool cue and all that I carried with me.
Who invented snooker, by the way? I'll just pronounce it like you did. That's disgusting. Snooker.
I have no idea who invented it. I don't know.
Was it a Brit?
Could be. I don't know.
Because if it was, you'd be pronouncing it how we pronounce it.
Yeah. John Connors says you say it's the same as I do. Yeah. Quinn Dakota says, by the way, what is it's a game similar to pool, to billiards, but the table's a different size. I believe the balls are smaller, a little bit smaller too, I think. But yeah, it's similar to billiards, to pool. Jared Hart Norris asks if I'm a wrestling guy. Not anymore. I used to be, way back in the day, through childhood up into my early adulthood. But I lost interest in it shortly after the WWE's what they called was WWF at the time, what they called the Rock and Wrestling period, and I just lost my interest in it. It wasn't that it was bad; I just lost interest. Would I
Army
wrestle
officers in
Hulk
India,
Hogan?
so the pronunciation could go either way. It's probably snooker.
Yeah. RJ Banzo says, "Would I wrestle Hulk Hogan?" Hogan's a terrible wrestler. He has no skill whatsoever, never did, and he has the one god awful move, the big boot, and he's a terrible wrestler, always has been, and all the wrestlers will tell you he's a terrible wrestler. What he was good at was getting the crowd on his side and getting the crowd worked at. Yeah. He was a god awful wrestler, terrible, stiff. I know a lot about wrestling and the game of wrestling and all the little terms and stuff that they use, and I've stayed up to date with it. I know who the current wrestlers are and stuff. I just don't watch it.
Mm-hmm.
Anymore.
No, I don't watch that. I don't watch it. Did when I was a kid.
Oh, I was all about it when I was a kid. Of course, when I was a kid, the big wrestlers around here were people most of you have never heard about, and I was. Like, for instance, I was a huge Dick the Bruiser fan. Huge Dick the Bruiser fan. And I doubt very many of you have even heard of him, but in the 60s and the early 70s, he was big. Of course, wrestling was different then. That was the days in the territories. So, you had a wrestling show that was shown here in Indianapolis, but like, say, down in Tennessee, they watched a different wrestling show. And then over on the coast, they watched a different wrestling show. It was all little companies around the country.
Yeah.
And then eventually the WWE and the WCW started buying up all these territories. And eventually the WWE won that battle. And so it changed. It was, in my opinion, wrestling was much better back in the territory days. Yeah. Much better. Randy Savage was actually a good wrestler. Yeah. One of the best technical wrestlers was Bret the Hitman Hart. Mr. Perfect was an extremely good technical wrestler. There's been a lot of them that were good technicians. But Hulk Hogan was not one of them. And neither was Ric Flair. Ric Flair was awful. And if you talk to the wrestlers themselves, which I have a few, I actually know some of the wrestlers. They will tell you one of their most hated wrestler to face was Ric Flair because he would get you hurt. He was so stiff. He was terrible. Terrible. But again, like as with Hogan, he knew how to get the crowd going. He was a showman. But absolutely. Oh yeah, absolutely, Kyler. I remember the Fabulous Freebirds. I was a huge fan of the Freebirds and the original Four Horsemen. Yeah. I do not know Jake the Snake personally, but I have seen him wrestle live. Yeah. Yeah. I remember when he was a kid, J-Kid used to be scared to death of that snake of his, Damien. Scared to death. Stone Cold was a mix, kind of like his character was. Stone Cold was one of those rare individuals that was able to pull off the middle of the road. He was an anti-hero. He wasn't a good guy or a bad guy. He wasn't on either side, and he pulled it off. Not everybody can pull that off.
I like Stone Cold Steve Austin.
That's rare. And he was the same with his wrestling. He could wrestle technically. He wasn't the best technical wrestler, but he could. He could wrestle, he wasn't all that stiff. He tells a story, if you ever run across it, he tells a story about one time early on in his career at the WWE, though, where he was wrestling The Undertaker. And anybody knows wrestling knows The Undertaker just ran the locker room. Everybody listened to The Undertaker, right? Everybody respected him. He was judge and jury of the locker room behind the scenes, right?
Yeah, I bet.
So he's wrestling him, and he's throwing these potatoes at him. And those that don't know the terms, potato means he was throwing some real punches at him that were really hurting. Stone Cold was throwing these at the at the Undertaker, but he didn't realize that they were actually hurting him. And they got in a clinch up, and he wrestled at him. If you don't stop hitting me with those potatoes, I'm going to destroy you. And Stone Cold threw one too many potatoes at him, and it got real. It became a shoot, and a shoot is where they go off script and it gets real.
That's a bad day.
And he just put the hurts on Stone Cold something fierce. Yeah,
that's a really bad day.
And he tells the story to this day, and he laughs about it. You know, he's like, I should have listened.
Yeah.
Thank you, Cryptic, for the donation. WWF screwed over Bret the Hitman. Yeah, they did, and they admitted it. They did screw him over. They sure did.
I liked Triple H and D-Generation X and the Hardy twins, the Hardy brothers, whatever they were called. I liked obviously The Rock.
Yeah. Well, see,
I liked Rikishi. I liked Stone Cold Steve Austin.
And I did watch a lot of that. The edgy period of the rated R period of WWE, because my kids would watch it. But I really kind of lost interest the period before that, when you were talking about Hulk Hogan and
I knew about that. Yeah,
King Kong Bundy and all those guys. I was my favorite wrestler of the time was Rowdy Roddy Piper, and he still is one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. Nobody was better than Piper on the mic. Nobody. The man could go impromptu and just off the top of his head, do things that people with scripts couldn't even do, because he often went off script. And my other favorite was the Macho Man. Just loved the Macho Man.
I also like the Dudley Boys as well.
Yeah. There was a tag team back in the day called the Sheepherders. Don't know if you ever saw those.
No.
Goofy New Zealand guys, and they'd come out marching real funny, and they'd lick each other's heads.
Well, what? Oh, okay.
Yeah, they changed their name once, called from the Sheepherders to the Bushwhackers. It might be a name you know them by, but yeah. Here's something you might not know about Macho Man. He was actually professional level baseball player.
There you go.
Before he decided to go all in on wrestling. Yeah. He was quite the baseball player. But don't know how we got off on wrestling. Oh, somebody asked me a question if I liked wrestling.
I also like Mick Foley as well. For a period of time, I liked him.
That dude gave his all for the company. He can barely walk now. He's crippled to the point he can barely walk.
Yeah.
And it's all because of the things that he went through. And if you look, man, he done some crazy stunts for the company. Falling off the top of cages through tables and, barbed wire matches and thumbtacks all over the floor of the ring, and just crazy stunts. And man, he gave his all for that company. He did.
Apparently, still works for the WWE.
Yeah, in different respects. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't imagine him throwing himself off the top of those cages anymore, because they're there. Those things were huge.
Yeah, I don't think he could wrestle at all anymore, because he can seriously just barely walk more than a short distance. Mick Foley.
Mm-hmm.
My wife was asking me who. They Pat, you're right. They screwed over Macho Man for a while. They did. Yep. Sarah, the Rock and Sock connection. Yeah, the Rock and Mick Foley. Yeah,
I remember that. Yeah.
Of course, I was a fan of Mick Foley long before he got to the WWE. I was aware of Mick Foley when he was with the WWCW, the Texas wrestling show with the what was their names? Such tragic things happened to that family. So many of their boys died. I can't believe I can't think of their names. Somebody in chat, please tell me, because I know you guys know. But that's how I got familiar, was watching him on that. The Von Erichs, thank you. Yep, thank you.
That name rings a bell.
Oh, there's such tragedy. One of the boys committed suicide, or maybe it was two of the boys. One of them died from some freak infection.
Damn, I hate that.
It was a lot of terrible things happened to that family. Bad things, but yeah, it was a great wrestling show back in the day.
Someone is going to mention Chris Benoit at some point as well. That was a very, very tragic.
It was, yeah.
Thing that happened there.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I remember that all too well. But yeah, way back in the day, if you're not aware of who Dick the Bruiser was, look him up. Oh my gosh. Good luck finding the picture where he's not covered in blood head to toe. I was serious. Of course, this was back in the day in the 60s and 70s where they bladed quite often.
Yeah.
Where they would hide a little piece of a razor blade in their tape on their fingers and stuff and cut their own heads.
Silly.
So, yeah. You see people like, and here's another name some of you might not know, but if you do, you know what I'm talking. Abdullah the Butcher. His forehead had looked like it was just wrinkled all over, just really wrinkly, but it was because he bladed so much through the years and scarred so bad, it just looked funny. But yeah, I remember the Booker T incident. Yeah.
What happened with Booker T?
Pat's probably more into. He can probably explain it more to me than. And one of the things that I really liked about Dick the Bruiser, everybody knows Bobby the Brain Heenan. Well, Bobby's from Indianapolis, and he got started here in this area. And Dick the Bruiser ran the wrestling in this area, and the two hated each other, legit in real life.
Oh dear.
And that transmitted over into the ring. There was a lot of feuds going on. And back then, Bobby actually wrestled. He wasn't a manager. Wasn't too long after that he decided to go into managing, though, because I think he got tired of getting his butt kicked.
Oh dear.
But he bladed so much. He's talking about Booker T. The ones on his head are deep, and yeah, you can go too deep and not be able to stop the bleeding. Because if you've ever cut your head, you know how it bleeds.
Oh yeah, it bleeds like crazy. Yeah,
and it can be dangerous. But it can be very dangerous. It's the reason they're not supposed to do it anymore. Not in the WWE anyway. I don't know whether that's true or not, but they're not supposed to do it anymore.
Supposed to, but
yeah. Yeah, Dick the Bruiser was quite a guy. He was my favorite as a young kid. Let's see what else we have. The WCW. Back before it became it was the WCW, but they called it the NWA way back in the day. I used to like it. And the UWF was another one that the WCW absorbed, that a lot of great wrestlers came out of, like Sting, the $1 Million Man, all kinds of, Steiner. Rick Steiner, all these guys come out of the old UWF. It was a great show, but it was eventually bought and swallowed up by the WCW.
Mm.
Yeah, there were a lot of great wrestlers come out of that old UWF. But yeah, we are now. I haven't done anything but talk to you guys for almost the last hour. But well, it's officially question time.
Hey.
Official. So if you have any questions, if you want to just keep talking wrestling, then that's fine, or football, or if you got a question for Alex or whatever you want.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, ask away, guys. Ask away.
Yeah, I remember Smoky Mountain Wrestling, Pat. Yeah, absolutely. I remember a lot of the old wrestling territories. And there was a show that was on cable that would actually feature matches from all the different territories, or all the big ones, for a while before the WWE and the WCW started buying up all the territories. I can't remember the name on it, but it was actually a good way to familiarize yourself with all the other territories, and their stars.
Mm.
Andre. I was actually at the WrestleMania where Andre the Giant slammed or was slammed by Hulk Hogan. And that's a famous match because, nobody was able to slam Andre because he was so huge. But he did, and I was there. The crowd went nuts.
No, Joel, the security background check still isn't done. Still, even, you may remember me being interrupted on stream. If you were watching that one, I don't know whether you were or not. All good if you weren't, of course. You may remember me being interrupted while streaming the other day. And unfortunately, my manager said to me that she thought they'd be done by Friday. It was not. It was not done by Friday, unfortunately. So I'm really, really hoping that it's complete this coming week. Because if it's not, it's going to put the hurt on me and the family quite a bit. So,
yeah. Well, here's having my fingers crossed for you.
Yeah.
RJ Bandsman, could Andre? That's a silly question. Bandsman, Andre could beat anybody, even today's wrestling, by just sitting on him. He was just a big, big man, and any of the wrestlers that wrestled him will tell you he was a brute. He was a legit tough guy. He was just so huge and so strong. Seriously.
Yeah, there you go. There's your answer.
And I'm a crippled old guy. Well, he could probably beat me with one finger if he were still alive. What else we got? Jared Hart Norris asks, what games are you thinking of playing, Alex?
For the Dread Zone? A game called Infliction. You may have seen me do a demo of it on IRA Alex quite some time ago if you've been subscribed long enough. It is a genuinely terrifying game. And there are a couple of others I have in mind as well. So just keep an eye out, dude. Keep an eye out. It's it should be interesting.
Thank you, Cryptic, for the donation. He was great and funny in the Princess Bride movie. Yeah, he was. He was a funny guy. And it's legendary how much beer he could drink. Seriously, the dude he didn't measure it in beers. He measured it in cases. I'm not joking.
Had a couple of cases.
Of course, he was so huge that a beer can disappeared in his fist. Literally, you could not see the beer can in his hand when he held it because it just disappeared.
That big.
Oh, he was that big. Massive. He would just down a whole beer in one gulp. Just
damn.
And it's legendary how much he drank and always drank. He was so big, Alex, that it's true that when he'd be out away from his house, he had a special bathroom at home because he was so big.
Really? That big?
Yeah. When he was out, he couldn't sit on the toilet in the hotel. He had to poop in the tub. and then
You had
wash
to
it
poo
down.
in the tub.
He was just too big.
Couldn't buy a big toilet.
Not at the hotel. You know, when they were out on the road.
Yeah. Oh, well, damn.
Yeah, that's
So
a
I
true
guess he was
story.
like apologizing to people, apologizing to the hotel,
What?
pre check in. I say sorry, but I'm gonna have to poo in your bathroom.
Yeah. I mean, you know, you got to do what you got to do. And
Well,
the guy was well over 7 foot tall and over 400 pounds. He was just a massive, massive man.
He's dead. Yeah,
Yeah.
big-
His heart gave out. Finally.
massive people, and
He had,
obviously very little people tend to
I
die,
forget the
don't they?
technical name of it, but he had giantism. That's why he was so big.
Yeah.
Kyler says, and Andre got drunk one night in Montreal and flipped over a car, or so they say. And a lot of other wrestlers back up the story. So apparently it's true. Yeah.
Oh, I hope there's a video somewhere, because I'd watch that.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you, Vance, what do you call hillbillies who run shine? NASCAR drivers. Exactly. Yeah. That's how it started. Lots of stories people tell about Andre because he's legendary. He's a legend.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Have I ever had sake? Quinn the cultist asked. No, not to my knowledge. I don't think so.
I've never had sake.
I know that it's rice wine, and that's all that I know about it.
Apparently, it's quite pungent as well.
Yeah.
I don't know. I imagine Dax has. We need to get him on streams one of these days. He's just always working, isn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, I hardly ever see or hear from him anymore.
Yeah, he's always on Discord and stuff. Like he's he is there a lot of the time. You know, mostly
well, he's not even on Monkey in the Morning hardly anymore. So, and there for a while he was always on Monkey in the Morning.
Yeah. Not entirely sure why that is, but
I do miss my Skittles boy.
Yeah.
Pat says he's had sake. It tastes good, but will sneak up on you. Oh, well, I don't need that then. Functional says, he put it this way. He's talking to you, I think, Alex. Put it this way: the guy who plays the Mountain on Game of Thrones.
Well, which one? There were 3 of them.
Would only have measured up to Andre's nose.
Well, which one? the Icelandic guy?
Yeah. Well, just pick the biggest one of them, and there you have.
I don't know which one is the Icelandic guy was. I don't know I don't know if he was the tallest, but
half Bjorn, half Bjorn.
Yeah, okay, the Icelandic fella. He was so big he couldn't fit inside a plane properly.
Yeah, and he would not have measured up to Andre. That's the truth. Andre was just phenomenally big.
Mm.
And in his younger days, he was very agile, you know, for such a big guy.
Mm.
Extremely agile. But yeah, he used to legit wrestle 2 and 3 people at a time and stand there with his arms crossed while they're trying to get him down.
Well, yeah, I could see why.
Yeah, Andre was 7'4". Yeah, big man.
That is pretty big.
But we are at the end of it. We're at that time of the stream where it's time to say bye-bye. It's been fun, but it's time to go. Time to go. And besides, the old man needs to make a run to the tobacco store and finish editing my video, and somewhere in there, maybe get a nap. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. Thank you to all of you that's come out and supported the stream in the many different ways that you do, you know, with your comments and your likes and your shares and the donations, of course, all of the different ways that you guys support me. Trust me, it does not go unnoticed and is very appreciated.
Yeah. Thank you for supporting Bloodwing, guys. Again, you know, you've been frigging amazing this week.
Yep.
Truly.
Barry the Gull, anything you want to shout out?
Yeah, I can't grab the link right now. So if someone could grab that for me, I'd be really appreciative. I released a gag ads video yesterday, and it's parodying and making a lot of fun at Grand Theft Auto Online, as well as what's it called? Fallout 76. So guys, go check it out. It's only a short video. And let me know what you think of it. Let me know what you think of it.
Yeah. Yep. Do it. And as for me, the next Redneck Radio will be Tuesday at 2:30 Eastern. And tomorrow at 5:30 Eastern will be the premiere of episode 14 of Redneck Trek.
Get it watched, guys.
Yeah. Yeah. So at any rate, it has been hilarious, but we got to get out of here. So as always, get out of my yard.
Bye, guys.